Good morning students. Today we are going to see how we are going to interface 8051 microcontroller with the external memory. So the memory could be RAM or ROM. So ROM is nothing but your program memory, RAM is nothing but your data memory, and how we are going to access them. Okay, this is the general block diagram. So it is your 8051 microcontroller. In this we are going to use port 0 and port 2. Why we are going to use port 0 and port 2? In the sense, we need the address. Suppose if you wanted to access the external memory by 8051, we need to give the address. So that address can be given only with the help of your address bus. And data whatever you are going to access, that has to be taken from the data bus. So we need to use both port 0 and port 2, because port 0 has lower bit address bus and port 2 is having higher bit address bus. So 8 bit of lower bit address bus is available with port 0, and a higher bit 8 bit of address bus is available with port 2. So you have to use port 0 and port 2. So but port 0 has multiplexed address bar data bus. But this multiplexed address bar data bus has to be demultiplexed, because we need to segregate address bus, address separate and data separate. For that you need to latch. So to latch it, I have to use address latch enable. The signal address latch enable, what we have shown over here, it is an active low signal. It means that in case if I give ALE as 0, from this multiplexed address bar data bus, your address alone is latched and it is given to the external memory. Suppose if ALE, this is address latch enable, if it is high, it means that data is latched. Depending upon whether it is an active low signal or active high signal, we need to give logic 0 or logic 1 to this ALE pin. Since it is an active low signal here, we need to give 0 to latch the address alone from this multiplexed address bar data bus. So once if you give 0 over here, among this multiplexed address bar data bus, only the address alone is latched and it is given to your data memory, because from this address it is your lower bit address, that is A0 to A7. But address is represented by means of 16 bit. It is a 16 bit address. So the next higher bit 8 bit address is taken from port 2. So port 2 is giving A8 to A16. This port 0, after latch it is going to give A0 to A7. Therefore totally we have A0 to A15. So it is your address bar, it is your address bus which is responsible to access from the external memory. So it represents the external memory address. Now next we need to say whether we need to read the data or write the data. So two signal is required, read signal and write signal. This is also active low signal. Based on the specification, we will come to know whether it is an active low signal or active high signal from the specification sheet and the manufacturer's data sheet of 8051. Here it is an active low signal. So when you give an active low signal, if you give 0 over here, then this particular line is responsible to write the data. Suppose if you give 0 over here, it is 1, means this particular signal is responsible to read the data from the external memory. So all these control signals are required, that is ALE, read, write. All these control signals are required to access the data from the external memory through 8051 microcontroller. Now, okay, here we have seen address and data. But if it is an instruction, if I wanted to write a program or the instruction to the external memory, I have to use program store enable. This PSEN is nothing but program store enable. It means that if you make this line, if you make the signal to 0, because it is an active low signal, if you make the signal to 0, it makes the program to write, that is program, it allows the program to store in the external program memory. So in this address bus and data bus, so this address bus will represent the address from where exactly the program has to be stored, will be represented by using this address bus, and PSEN is responsible to store, that is to load the program from 8051 microcontroller to the external program memory. So it is the basic block that is responsible for to interface your 8051 microcontroller with the external memory, and using all these control signals it is possible for us to access them. Next, it is the detailed diagram showing your external memory interfacing. It is your 8051 microcontroller. As we discussed, program store enable. So here I have shown it as a active high program store enable. It means that your external program can be stored in the external memory only when you activate the signal. So if you wanted to activate this program store enable, you have to give 1 over here because it is a active high signal. Next, A8 to A15. A8 to A15 is nothing but your higher bit address bus, that is nothing but port 2. And lower bit address bus can be taken from port 0. Port 0, it is a multiplexed address bar data bus. From this multiplexed address bar data bus, it is possible for us to latch your address bus alone by using your address latch enable. So when this address latch enable signal is high, because here it is an active high signal, when this address latch enable is high, the address alone is latched from this multiplexed address bar data bus, and it is given to the 16K byte RAM. RAM is nothing but your data memory. So whatever address we are getting here, along with this the higher byte address represent your 16-bit address line, and in that 16-bit address line what address is available, that particular data will be accessed from the data memory, that is RAM, and it is sent to your output device. So after demultiplexing your address and data bus, address will go in this path and data you can write it onto the respective memory. So whatever data you are segregating, in corresponding data will be written onto the memory. This is how your external memory interfacing works with 8051. So it is possible to connect an additional memory externally by using the pin called PSEN, that is program store enable. It is the pin that is responsible to store the program onto the external memory. Even you can store the data as well as you can store your program. Next is your 8051 addressing modes. So this 8051 addressing modes, we have immediate addressing, register addressing, direct addressing, register indirect addressing, indexed addressing, relative addressing, absolute addressing, long addressing, bit inherent addressing, and bit direct addressing. So using any one of these addressing modes, it is possible for us to write the program. So in any of the addressing modes you can use according to the logic, you can write the program. So in the next class we will be dealing in depth of 8051 addressing modes. So the list of addressing modes that we use in 8051 is listed over here. In this, the first one is your immediate addressing. Immediate addressing means the data will be present in the instruction. For example, if you take move a comma #25. So #25 is your immediate addressing, that is the data will be directly present in the instruction. Move, it is the instruction, that is it is an operand opcode that represents the moving of a data from your source to a destination. Here the data is 25. So this 25 is directly moved on to your accumulator register. You can take this instruction move R4 comma #62. So whatever data you wanted to present in the instruction as an immediate addressing mode, the data should be followed by your hash sign. So after hash sign, if anything you give, that will become a data, and that particular data will be moved on to your destination register. So in this instruction, move you need to move a data, that is 62 is moved to your R4 register. The next instruction is move B comma #40H. So here the data is followed with the hash symbol. So it is going to be your immediate addressing. So this 40 data, it is your data. This data is moved to your B register. Move DPTR. It is DTPR, data pointer. DPTR it should come. So this data pointer, it is a 16-bit pointer. It is not. So here move DPTR, it is a data pointer. The data pointer has to be represented with DPTR. It is a 16-bit register. Whereas A stands for accumulator, B it is a temporary register, R4 it is the register, fourth register in any of the banks. It is a 16-bit register. So in the 16-bit register, I need to move a 16-bit data, which is nothing, which has to be followed with a hash symbol. So 2550H. In case if I wanted to specify this particular data in binary, you have to write it as hash 01, because binary means zeros and ones only, right? So you have to write it as 0110. Last you have to represent with binary. If you are not specifying any H over here, then this 2550 will become a decimal number. So this DPTR, it is a 16-bit register which can be splitted as two low registers, that is DPL and DPH, that is data pointer low register and data pointer high register. It is your lower nibble and it is your higher nibble. Lower nibble will be stored onto your lower bit data pointer. Higher nibble will be stored onto your data pointer high. So immediate addressing is nothing but the data will be directly present on the instruction. So it is followed with the hash symbol. This is how we need to use immediate addressing modes in the program. These are all some of the valid instruction that represents your immediate addressing mode. In the next class, we'll see register direct addressing mode.